Hello and welcome to the Sports Weekly. Yes, we are taking a look at what is happening in local football, and we are just a few days away from the international break. Yes, Engin Firat, or Engin Firat, if you may, has named his squad for the national football team, Harambee Stars, that will be in action for the CAF AFCON 2025 qualifiers. Remember, CAF AFCON 2025 will be held in Morocco with Cedric Msumba and Roger Sistemi. We will be dissecting that, the squad that has been named and what to expect from them. First match, Kenya settled for a draw against Zimbabwe. Second match, Kenya got a win against Namibia. So the two matches that will be coming up, Kenya will be taking on Cameroon, away in Cameroon, and then home in Uganda and not Kenya. Yes, as much as it seems very obscene, yes, we'll be playing away in Uganda. Cedric Msumba, Roger Sistemi. Let's begin with this thing of us playing away. Sedo, it doesn't feel even right. We are playing at home, but we are playing away. We are playing in Uganda.
Home, away, home.
Yes, home away from home.
You know, going by actually what's happening on our infrastructure, I might say that, okay, 75% is quite okay to me, and maybe that 5% isn't doubtful, given to the reason that also you can see the kind of funds Harambee Star can really happen to pull, given the result that it has just registered. And if it happened actually to happen here, and maybe I'm just assuming maybe put it even to Ulinzi, does not have that capacity to contain the funds that Harambee Star can pull right now. Because I'm looking at this particular match and I'm like, Harambee Star has already qualified for Africa Cup of Nations 2025, given if it can go ahead and get
win
the
against
the 6 points ahead of them in October.
Yes.
That means maybe if it win away from Cameroon and then happens to win back
In
at
Uganda.
home, those are 10 good points to take Harambee Star coming 2025 to Morocco.
Yes.
So as when that match was to be played here, each and every thinking that is really rolling faster into my mind will be actually a mirror of in other fan here in Kenya. They will want to access that particular pitch with an essence of maybe boosting their team to ensure that it qualifies for Africa Cup of Nations. I think
Sedo,
the infrastructure that are in space currently, they're not quite okay to hold that kind of
had you been back home, ungevuka border and
Probably.
gone to watch the match?
Exactly. But now the greatest fear is, and I understand and also I agree with some of the federation thinking, you know, we have had that kind of rivalry, Kenya and Ugandan. You understand?
Yeah. There's
And
that
at some
rivalry,
given point, there's a time when Uganda was about to qualify in Africa Cup of Nations, and we were playing them back in their home.
Yes.
But Kenya
The
was
match
far
ended
away
in a
from
draw.
qualify, but we just went there to spoil for them the game. So as they would like to spoil it for Kenya.
Yes.
We happen to play away from home. We're playing, embracing to their pitch, and they allow their fans into that particular stadium. I'm pretty quite sure they will not be there to support Harambee Star. They will be there to spoil it for Harambee Star. They can even turn again and support Cameroon, right?
Yes.
So
Eshtemi, now that Cedric has mentioned that, that match will be played behind closed doors.
No, that was a tactic from the federation because
Yes.
they knew pretty sure that what happened between was it Zimbabwe against
Cameroon. Yes.
Yeah. The Ugandan fans went there specifically to cheer Cameroon, courtesy of the Manchester United goalkeeper Andre Onana. And you saw the viral videos you saw on social media. They were just amazing. And that tells you indeed that if by chance Kenya would have allowed the fans to enter into that stadium, definitely the pressure will have put to Harambee Stars. But now we have seen in the last few matches or so, Harambee Stars seems to be playing so well without pressure when they are not having fans. But you know, the 12th month is always important in this scenario because it is so crucial that you remain with 4 matches. But the upcoming 2 matches, 2-legged tie, are so crucial that whoever will get the maximum point in that match will have definitely gotten a ticket to Morocco 2025. But now, without the fans, it's going to be so painful for Harambee Stars because the fans are also entitled to push and watch their national team play and also maybe have a chance to see some of these quality players across the world, the world-best players, the Ngoisas. But now, having been locked, not given a chance, courtesy of Kenya not having standardized facilities to hold such particular matches. You know, it is a shame, Robinson and Cedric.
Of course, yeah,
because
it's a very
it
big
can't
shame.
continue happening like this. I think this is the 3rd time this year that Harambee Stars are playing home away from home. And you know, it's not that it is happened like a surprise. We knew that we'll be getting ourselves involved in these matches. Why wouldn't we have planned early and prepared ourselves for such scenarios? And you know, it's more expensive. You know, we haven't been told about how much money has been spent when Harambee Stars plays home away from home.
Yes.
It is really expensive. It's better this team if plays at home because, yes, on one hand, you'll spend money, but you'll get another money through the fans who will come and storm into the pitch. But now, when you are losing money on just one side, the team playing away from home is so sad. And the players themselves sometimes tell you, we need that 12 months to push out. Well, let's wait and see what will happen.
Cedric Mzumba, is this the first time that we are seeing a desired backline for Harambee Stars? I mean, Anyembe was called into the squad. You have Johnston Omurwa, you have Okumu, and you have Marcelo. Is this the first time that we are seeing that desired backline for Harambee Stars?
You know what, Robinson? I'm just crossing my fingers just to feel like all these players that have been called into the camp currently, as it stands, they actually hold 100% fitness to represent us in that particular battle, given to the mere fact that they will be meeting actually a lame Cameroon team. Remember what is going actually around the Cameroon team, though they are professionals.
Samuel Eto'o has been banned for 6 months.
And there are some of the players actually who trades in Italy who are really
Zambo Anguissa.
They are not ready to embrace that particular game, and that will be to the advantage of this squad that Ingen Firit actually has really assembled in the camp. Going by that particular backline, and we have seen what that backline can do if they are fit enough to represent their nation in full capacity. They have all the qualities that can carry all the way them, and it's hard to break them. Actually, we are talking about the Saliba of where Eshitemi embraced a lot. We have our own Saliba here in Kenya, and at some point even
that is Okumu.
Yeah, and you see the charisma, the maturity, and how he commands that particular defense. It also gives other players who plays around him some kind of morale and value of really working hard for that national team. You go by the essence that Anyembe is coming back, I'm pretty quite sure that's the number that Harambee Stars has struggled actually to fill.
Yes.
Since, I think, back in 2019, in Africa Cup of Nations, we saw that number actually, we were struggling. Some of them actually, you had them. I think you had one of the Kenya representatives who traded a particular number, and he was actually finding it hard even to answer some of your questions about what really transpired in that party and what are these that number has been struggling. We have been struggling to get somebody who can really mark that space. But Anyembe came in, gave us the value, and he also showed us that if everything is okay, he can really transit from not playing as a wing back, but also offer the services at the centre back when required to. And that's the utility players that we have. That backline, to me, I have full confidence with it, if it is fully and ready to really deliver in 100% capacity. And as it is currently, if we happen to go with that team as it's assembled right now, given the midfield and maybe the front line also included by Rolunga, they are equally fit. I don't think if Cameroon will find Kenya as a walk in a park, it will be hard for them actually to crack the cup.
There's one young man that everybody's talking about, but we've not seen what he does for his club translate to what he does for the national team. Timothy from Augsburg. At the moment, everybody's saying that, he's one of the best players that we have in the country. He's playing for Augsburg. We've seen rumors that Brentford from the Premier League, one team and other clubs, but we've not seen him do that for the national team.
I think he's a boy on transition, bearing in mind that
nakumbuke last time aliitwa alipotea.
Alipotea. Hata prior to that hiyo games zenye zilikuwa Malawi, that is against Cote d'Ivoire and also Malawi. He was one of the players who were like, I think, bright sparks. But the most undoing thing about him is that in decision making, that is one of the things I saw about him, because he had the confidence, he has the pace, but now the in decision making, what time am I going to release this pass? What time am I going to shoot? That is one of the things maybe made us not to beat Cote d'Ivoire, because we had a number of chances in the first half, and Olunga was almost getting closer to score, and then it was just a matter of Timothy Ouma to just release that ball at the right time and the right moment, but it never happened. Well, that's gone. But now coming to the recent match that he went a wall, it was shocking. But in the national team, there's a lot of things that happen, and it's just high time the technical bench and the federation come clear and tell us exactly what transpired, because there's no way a player can be released by his team to come for the national duty and then just go MIA like that.
But tell me,
the club did not. The club released him, and yet from their tracking, they did not know where he went. The national team under FKF also said they called him, but they don't know if he was coming or not.
Yeah, that's something that is a concern to us, Cedric, because I understand even during the last international break, 2 players or so, also actually 3, the 3 players went MIA, and that was just shocking. A national team, you have been called for the national team duty, you have been released by your club, and then here fans are looking forward to see you and maybe see you help the national team, and then you're missing in action. That's just something like disciplinary case.
You know, there are so many dirty things that are really making us start doubting how our dressing room is really being managed at the back room. Because you understand, talking of player disappearing, there are some rumors that the players, even they are so indisciplined, that they can really happen to go after each other in that particular camp. To an extent, they are being disqualified. Some of them actually they are being punished not to embrace the games. No, talking also to the value of Timothy Owino, I'm not quite sure if we literally filled him equally well in our national team. Yesterday I took my time, and I remember having
watched his clip.
Manchester United. I just wanted to follow him and see what value does this guy carry.
Actually, his team got a win against AS Roma.
But you see how he was playing him. They were playing him box to box yesterday. Here, when he comes here
He's
to
a
Kenya,
winger.
we trade him to a wing.
Yeah.
And yesterday, listening to a commentator, he was like, he was one of the sparks you would see in that particular team. And necessary, watching him playing, you could tell how he has actually the muscle he's carrying, the body, the physique itself. I think he stands a chance of being a box-to-box player because he can destroy people at the midfield.
Cedric, at the same time, box-to-box, we have Odada, we have Akumu.
Yes.
So, who would you bench?
No, you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice because now, right now,
But
you also go to...
Eshtemi, at the same time, Akumu has been one of the best players under Firat.
Well, Akuma has been a good player, but
Yes.
now look at Odada. Odada has been not getting minutes at Dundee in Scotland. So you have to sacrifice one. Take a player who is now energetic and in the best form of his life. That is Timothy Oma, just the way Cedric has spoken here. Take Timothy, let him maybe try to combine with Akumu and then see what the fruits come from there. Because as far as I'm concerned right now, Timothy Oma, who is now a talk of the town and is being traced by a number of clubs abroad, he wants to show himself and prove his worth to the public and all fans around the world. And it's a moment for him also to up his career and maybe to convince more suitors that indeed I'm the right person, and that will also increase his value.
There were rumors that Brentford are monitoring him. Do you feel like he has what it takes to play in the Premier League?
Absolutely. He's still a young boy and he's still transitioning. Remember, he is coming from Nairobi City Stars and he's one of the players we have watched. We have seen his progress and even his school games. I happen to watch him. So I'm not surprised with the level that this boy is trying to bring right now. And I'm pretty sure if by chance he managed to cross over to EPL, he'll open doors for other people. Remember, he was the first ever Kenyan to score in the European League.
Yes.
Yeah. So that tells you this lad has really matured and is ready to take on whoever comes onto his wall. And I'm pretty sure with the chance he's gonna get, maybe depending where the coach will field him, that is Engine Firat, trust him or not, he'll at least show us the value of why he's being chased by other top clubs in Europe.
I strongly feel that if we were to play him in our national team,
Yes.
we need to play him in blind spaces. What I mean by blind spaces, that does not really necessarily need that, as you said earlier, fast pace of thinking. You know, on ball, for more so wing and forward lines, does not need to think twice before even you necessarily place that ball where it's required. Because the fast nature of thinking actually places the defenders off the ball. And watching him yesterday, he still embraced the code of taking the ball down and
Relax,
holding
yeah.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and
That does
relaxing
not
and then
actually
making a decision.
exactly,
Yes.
and even that decision does not come that quite easily. Because yesterday I see him dribbling and losing it to the opponent, and that's what he used to do even when he's recently when he's trading for Harambee. He takes the ball, dribble the ball until he forgets that he's playing among other players.
Absolutely.
That necessarily is what I think that maybe is the link that if he crosses over to EPL, that will be injected into him. He needs
Quick
somebody
thinking.
who can really impress that nature and make him now start really. He's still young. 2-3 years down the line, he can actually delete the aspect of holding the ball as he's playing along the pitch and start spreading it to the teammates and maybe make it work as a team moving
Eshtemi,
forward.
are we winning this tie against Cameroon home and away?
Recent history favors Kenya. Kenya has not lost to Cameroon. I think the last 3 matches or so. And I remember the late train Hadid Fabish managed to frustrate them more so because they drew at home and also drew in Yaoundé that particular year. And it is high time, and that should be something that motivates the current crop of players and the team, that if they can go there with the psyche and that mentality that indeed we can play and win. Remember, also Harambee Stars always turns up or rises up to the occasion when they play against the big teams.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
trust you me not, this particular two-legged tie, the minimum points you can get, there'll be 4 points. I'm pretty
Cedric,
sure
are we
about
winning?
that one.
No, not quite sure, but I think our game being played in Uganda, that's to us. I'm banking on it. Harambee Stars can necessarily, given to the nature of how their first leg will play away from from Kenya. I'm so quite certainly that Cameroon actually is meeting Kenya when their form
has deepened
to an aspect of what is really going around their team, and that should be capitalized by our technical bench vis-a-vis our players, given to the advantage that maybe they will be going there knowing what is happening. That particular a dejected kind of Cameroon stands a chance of actually losing it to Kenya if Kenya assemble their team very well, and also given the nature of the players that we are calling in, if they are 100% fit enough to represent us.
The biggest prayer should be that Akumu maybe shakes off from groin injury, because remember he was sidelined in their game against PSG. I think so, PSG or which game. So he has been nursing a groin injury, and you know a groin injury can take even for 4 or 5 months. We don't know what miracle will happen for him to make it to the team, to the final squad.
Yes, and that is your Sports Weekly with Cedric Musumba, Roger Sistemi, and Robinson Okenye.
These are wasted talents. Wasted talents.